All right, guys. So our article this week is April Fool's Prank. So I was supposed to do this last week and I forgot about it. So this week we're going to read it a little bit late, but I think you'll actually really like this article. It's pretty funny. All right. So April Fool's Day has been a day for silly pranks and hoaxes for centuries. It is held every April 1st. Sometimes newspapers and television shows join in the fun. Here are some of the most infamous April Fool's Day pranks of all time. So, this article is split up by subheadings, and you can tell that from the bolding. So, look for the bold words, and the bold words mean a subheading, and then obviously it's a new paragraph. So, paragraph 2 spaghetti trees. In 1957, the British Broadcasting Corporation, commonly known as BBC, aired a news program that showed Swiss farmers harvesting spaghetti from spaghetti trees. Pasta is actually made from a mixture of eggs, flour, and seasoning. So many people believed the hoax that they even called the BBC. They wanted to know how they could get their own spaghetti tree. The BBC's reply: place a sprig of spaghetti in a tin of tomato sauce and hope for the best. Smell-o-vision. The BBC struck again in 1965 when they showed a fake interview with a college professor. The professor told the interview that he had invented a new kind of technology that would be able to transmit smells into viewers' homes. He said that they would be able to experience the new technology by standing 6 feet away from the screen and sniffing. People were so convinced by the prank that many of them actually called the BBC and said that they were actually able to smell things. We know that's not true because you can't smell things through your TV. Taco Liberty Bell. In 1996, Taco Bell took out an advertisement in major U.S. newspapers. The ad said that they had purchased the Liberty Bell to help reduce a national debt. The advertisement also said that it was now going to be named the Taco Liberty Bell. People were so angry that the Taco Bell headquarters received thousands of phone calls. Taco Bell revealed that it was a prank within a matter of hours. Limited gravity. BBC also runs several radio stations. On April 1st, 1976, they broadcasted a speech by an astronomer. He told listeners that a special alignment of the planets would result in a short period of decreased gravity. He also encouraged the audience to try jumping at that moment so they could feel the effects of the decreased gravity. The astronomer even went so far as to give the decreased gravity a scientific name: the Jovan-Plutonian gravitational effect. Flying penguins. In 2008, the BBC unveiled a trailer for a new documentary called Flying Penguins. The trailer showed penguins flying from island to island near Antarctica. But penguins can't fly. Some people fell for it, but it wasn't long before they noticed that the name of the filmmaker was Professor Alid Loyas, which is an anagram for April Fool's Day. So that's what April Fool's Day, right? So an anagram is when words are just the letters are mixed up and in different spots, okay? All right, so let's watch. I found you a quick video on the spaghetti trees prank.
I was producing a very important program in the BBC called Panorama. Panorama was the major vehicle for current affairs coverage of the major stories of the day. We had noted in an editorial meeting that April 1st was on a Monday, and Monday was our transmission day. A week or so later, Charles de Jager, who was a freelance cameraman, came into the office and they pitched the idea of the spaghetti harvest being an April Fool's joke. I gave Charles a budget of £100 and sent him off.
It isn't only in Britain that spring this year has taken everyone by surprise. The past winter, one of the mildest in living memory, has had its effect in other ways as well. Most important of all, it's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop.
When the rushes came back, it was obvious that we had a wonderful film in the making and that we should treat it as a newsreel. The anchorman of the Panorama was Richard Dimbleby. Richard was a most respected reporter. He earned his reputation as a war correspondent. He knew perfectly well we were using his authority to make the joke work. He loved the idea and went at it with relish, if I put it that way.
Spaghetti cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on anything like the tremendous scale of the Italian industry.
David Wheeler, who wrote it, had been clever enough to use the wine harvest as a metaphor. This gave to those who knew what we were up to a coat hanger, as it were, to hang their understanding and enjoyment of the film. And for those who didn't know anything about spaghetti harvest, it made it more credible.
Many of you, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of the vast spaghetti plantations in the Po Valley. For the Swiss, however, it tends to be more of a family affair.
Spaghetti had been cooked so it was flexible, and where they wouldn't stick, they used a bit of sellotape.
Another reason why this may be a bumper year lies in the virtual disappearance of the spaghetti weed, a tiny creature whose depredations have caused much concern in the past.
We realized that if we told one person, like my boss, the last thing we wanted was to have the idea get into the press. So we told nobody.
Many people are often puzzled by the fact that spaghetti is produced at such uniform length. But this is the result of many years of patient endeavor by plant breeders who've succeeded in producing the perfect spaghetti. For those who love this dish, there's nothing like real homegrown spaghetti.
At the end of the item, Richard spoke to camera. So that's all for Panorama this April 1st, 1957. I learned that the Director General had said to his wife, I didn't know spaghetti grew on trees. And he started to reach for his encyclopedia. And his wife said, don't be a fool. Of course it doesn't. Oh, hell for the news. I mean, the press loved the story. There was a huge reaction. Some couldn't understand what was going on. Others loved it. Others hated it. Misleading the nation. This is why it works.